All-Star game. The All-Star game single-season record, 42 by Wilt Chamberlain back in 1962, the year he averaged 50 a game. Michael already has the highest All-Star average ever, 21 plus in 10 previous games. But Kareem played in 18 All-Star games and thus has the highest overall point total. And there you see Kobe Bryant in the foreground, the man many have dubbed the next Michael Jordan. Of course, that's a bit silly. There will be no next Michael Jordan, but the combination of skill and flair that Kobe Bryant brings to the game has already captivated the country.
Kobe definitely brings the skill and the flair. You know, he's a very exciting player. He's entertaining. The thing that I'm amazed at a very young age is he already understands how to entertain the fans. And he and Michael Jordan have promised us in their interviews that they will put on a show here today.
East won last year at Cleveland, 132-120. Glenn Rice of the Hornets, with 26 points in the game and a record 20 in one period, was the MVP.
Now, Michael Jordan comes to this All-Star game without Scottie Pippen and without Phil Jackson. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can get into his rhythm, because Anthony Hardaway is not known for passing, but more so for scoring.
Here is Michael. The head fake on Garnett. Over him into the lane with the game's first two.
So much for being sick.
Yeah, I think he's okay. He's got the bounce. He's got the skip. He's ready to put on the show.
Payton into Shaq. For the turnaround on the baseline to tie it at 2.
Well, you got the competition start, but the players will try to do things that they normally wouldn't do.
Hill rolls it home. He's averaging better than 21 a game. Always a
down screen. He freezes his switched off defender, and he gets right in the lane. There's no way Kevin Garnett has the lateral mobility to stay with Michael Jordan.
Payton on Hardaway. Mutombo with the screen, and Penny with the bucket.
Everybody's about their A game tonight. Now let's see now if they can increase the tempo that's happening out there.
Payton with the spin. Bryant, Kobe's first All-Star hoop.
It's amazing, Bob, when you watch Kobe Bryant practice. There's no luck to those shots. He does have trouble finishing off the dribble, though.
Hill on the drive for his 8-4. Here's Garnett and the Kid, as they call him, in Minnesota.
Bring it back to Jordan.
Hardaway. And Penny, who's played only 17 games this year, missed hits again. Shaq muscling it up over Mutombo.
Kobe Bryant along that baseline off the back screen by Shaquille O'Neal. And that enjoy all the festivities because of the sickness of his uncle there in the hospital.
1 of 2 for Shaq at the line. Jordan from the head of the key.
See that
Hill comes away.
See, this is the game where you want to have a lot of oohs and a lot of ahs.
Kemp from Jordan.
This shot in a game like this is where you want to try. You know, when you got great players like this playing out on the court, it usually takes them about 5 minutes to adjust to get used to each other's timing and rhythm.
Kemp. Inbound pass, and his shot rattles out. Here comes Bryant ahead of the field. Reverse slam.
See, that was an ooh and an ah and a clap. See, that's what I'm talking about. And all Kobe gets to here, he plants, he jumps, he spins, and that's the slam dunk in your face.
Last year was Kobe's first All-Star game as a visitor, even though his parents grew up in the NBA.
This is Hardaway to the left hand, and Mutombo with the ball in his hands again. To Garnett. Back to Kobe.
See, that's the ooh. Kobe and Garnett. You know, 2 of the young.
Kobe with 6. Hill just a step inside the three-point line.
To give it up here, and then Kevin Garnett showing that he can pass. When I asked all these players who their heroes were coming up,
Kemp pushing it up the floor, takes it in, dumps it off to Hill, and the reverse isn't there, but Jordan stuffs it home.
Now they got to push it up. Somebody got to get it in bounds and push it up quick. That's
running back on defense.
Shaq banks it in.
Jordan finished plays that other people couldn't. Grant Hill unable to get the reverse layup. And Michael, everybody else is standing. And to me, that's the beauty of Michael Jordan. It's about timing. It's about positioning. Everybody else is going to be down on the floor, not knowing where the ball is. And Michael high above the rim. Everybody else only a spectator.
Jason Williams of the Nets checks in. Jordan, baseline, got it.
The thing that's happening out here today is nobody's double teaming any.
You listen to your all-star coaches, Isaiah.
Well, I listen to him all the time because I was young and afraid like Kobe Bryant.
Count it, plus the foul for Jordan, who now has 8 and a chance for 9.
But Michael told him, bring your A game. And if you don't bring your A game, I'm going to embarrass you. Michael, get him on the low post right here, and then give him the fake and the fade and the lean. Follow through, and you get the little bounce and the skip. That's when you know he's in his rhythm. The little bounce and the skip. That's when you know he's in his rhythm.
When I was talking to Michael in the locker room before the game today, I asked him about all this speculation about what's going to happen. He said, Bill, I signed up under certain circumstances to play for the Chicago Bulls. And I want to keep playing under those circumstances. If somebody else changes those circumstances, then I don't want to be responsible under him.
Jordan.
Told us they was going to protect the goal.
Hill swooping to the hoop, but it comes up short. Eddie Jones with a 3. Way off. But Payton keeps it alive for the West. Kobe into the lane, to the hoop, and he's fouled.
Michael Jordan, but also had the myriad of skills, the outside jumper, the creativity, and the incredible athleticism.
Lots of bench players have been voted All-Stars, but they played as reserves off the bench in the All-Star game. Only 3 Havlicek, 6th men for their teams during the season.
You know, Jerry,
Glenn Rice and Reggie Miller getting set to check in. Rick Smits is already in for the use. The Pacers center. Here he is. His first shot.
can put it in, and he's got 3-point range. I hope he takes one today.
Bob, I think the 2 most overlooked All-Stars who are finally here are Smits and Nick Van Exel of the Lakers. The last couple of years, Van Exel and Rick Smits have...
Now Jason Williams. Hardaway for 3, and Tim Hardaway drills it.
Goes back further than that, I say. He was telling me how he used to take a lot of abuse from you when he was growing up as a young man in the city.
Much longer. February 19th, the trading deadline. His name's been in trade talks all year. Hardaway with 2 in a row. Robinson's underneath, and he slams it home.
Back to Mitch Richmond, seeking a trade to try to bring Mitch Richmond to the Miami miss.
That's called a heat check, Bob. And Hardaway, Tim, is one of the guys that can get the MVP today. Your size, Bob.
Well, not quite. I wish. Richmond for 3.
You got 2 guys out there right now.
Just another game, right? Yeah, right.
Something like that.
All right, Kobe, we look forward to seeing you back in the game. Bob?
All right, Jim, thanks. Here's Glenn Rice with his first team goal. Between his legs, Robinson couldn't handle it, but Baker was there to pick it up.
Time finishers who can deliver.
Smits from Hardaway.
To be 7'4". Dream of Smits is making a mistake. He's trying to keep up with the ball. You just got to stay at one end when you're a big guy, preferably the offensive end.
A 2-pointer for Mitch Richmond.
Amazing team his whole career. I think he needs to do more if he's really serious about getting to that championship level. He's going to have to take a sacrifice, a pay cut to get
Shoot players in NBA history. Reggie Miller doing just that. What he does best in that last sequence. Here's Vin Big.
Pose.
Kid locked it up there for Eddie Jones.
Nice. I see that's Jason Kidd and Eddie Johnson. And Eddie.
Back at Madison Square Garden in Michael's seat. Now, you weren't feeling well when the game started, but once you got out there, you and Kobe going one-on-one, it got exciting.
Well, I mean, he's coming at me. I mean, I think that's the approach. I think the first thing I do, I go out to him. But, I got to defend myself. I'm going to go out there. He's got to play defense just like I got to play defense. I haven't been near basketball for 3 or 4 days, and I haven't been up out of bed for that long. So, I mean, I'm not... No, but he's doing the right thing. He's coming at me, which he's supposed to. But I have to defend myself in whatever way I can.
So the pride factor...
Reggie Miller hit a 2 and Glenn Rice a 3 for the East. Here's Baker with authority for the West. Well, let's see what Jones decides to do. To the reverse slam.
The thing that I like...
He and Antoine Walker of the Celtics just checked in. Rice for 3 again and good again.
So you got good spacing, you got good ball.
They're not catching. and they're not finishing.
Rice has hit 3 consecutive three-pointers.
Glenn Rice has got hot. He's hot now. Now they got to keep feeding. A couple of years, the guys are competing, they're working hard, and they're putting on the show.
I think it's a combination of Larry Bird.
Antoine Walker got the bounce. Now at the other end, Duncan with the turnaround, and he connects. He's the only rookie. Here comes Antoine Walker behind the back to Reggie. No. Man, nice play.
In the summertime, and Michael Jordan, surprisingly enough, Larry Bird didn't.
They all want to show they've got a handle. Jordan left alone. That's usually not a real good idea.
Well, Michael Jordan has the real handle.
David Robinson just looked at him and said, "Do you ever miss Jordan?"
After the 2 free throws, David Robinson has 10. Steve Smith connects on a 3. Back on the wing to Smith. Off the baseline.
Now Steve
Van Exel into the lane. Nick Van Exel.
Wisconsin, halfway between Milwaukee and Chicago. He said his dreams as a kid was just to go to Division I and be on TV every now and then. Now here he is at the ultimate game.
Kobe Bryant couldn't stop Michael Jordan. Sometimes in this game, it's hard to recognize right off who your teammates are. Here's Smith for 3. And Steve Smith is on fire.
The long ball better than the East.
Van Exel. No tunes live from center court. There's a Broadway theme like NBA business. In the last 3 seconds, Peyton with the left hand and Bryant like NBA business. In the last 3 seconds, Peyton with the left hand and Bryant.
Now, everybody is excited about this showdown between you and Kobe. Now, how do you see it the first half?
First of all, I don't consider it a showdown, but I think that, we both are trying to do our job to entertain, and we're trying to play as hard and not try to isolate ourselves away from the rest of the players. So, I mean, in the mix of that, we will have our times where we go one-on-one, but I'm not going to try to do it too often because I don't want to take away from the other guys being here.
But you will not shy away from that isolation.
Well, I will defend myself without a doubt.
All right, let's go down to Jim, who's with Kobe. Jim?
Coming after him.
As most of you know, Michael Jordan bypassed the All-Star practice yesterday, had flu symptoms, temperature of 101, took antibiotics, rested, declared before the game that he felt much better. And in this game, he's already bypassed Elgin Baylor, Julius Erving, and Bob Pettit with his 13 first-half points, and now trails only Kareem and the Big O in the all-time annals of All-Star scoring. The last time prior to this weekend that Michael Jordan turned up sick, it was Game 5 of the NBA Finals. He was much sicker then, stomach virus, all kinds of additional symptoms. There's Kareem looking on. It'll take 41 from Michael tonight for Kareem's record to fall. You remember that night in Salt Lake City, Michael, out of the sickbed, scored 39 in one of the great performances, all things considered, in the modern history of sports.
So, Bill, when it comes down to championship play, it's not a matter of your skill, it's a battle of your will. And Michael Jordan's will in terms of winning championship games and winning championship trophies are stronger than anyone in this league playing today.
He has passed someone else in an All-Star category. He had a couple of steals in the first half, and now, Isaiah, you must give it up.
But look at that list.
That was the only record that I had that he hadn't got yet. Now he's taking everything. He took the championship trophy from me. He took the All-Star trophy from me. Now he's taking the All-Star steals.
He has ransacked.
Won the MVP. We had the flashback earlier. Tim Hardaway gave up his starting spot to let Magic start. But hey, look, that's the way I feel, and I'm not changing my mind.
Grant Hill hit for the East. Kevin Garnett and Peyton accelerates, dishing to Garnett over Kemp. He's hit 2 in a row.
When Garnett was in high school, when I was scouting him, he played every position, protecting his buddy.
That was a
Garnett could have given it to Kobe. Thought about it for a second, but hey, I'd like
back in Phoenix. Shaq really closing down the middle.
Mutombo. When we talk.
Here's the finals matchup right now. He looks like
the Jazz swept their 2 games during this regular season against the Bulls. Beat them in Chicago and in Salt Lake City. Hill floats. Doesn't hit it, but the tip is there for Sean Kemp. 5 points and 10.